right, here we go. So yesterday, Gina showed us that Michael Rappaport video where the guy was stealing from the Rite Aid, and then we talked a little bit about the security guard.
Yeah,
and
had no thoughts on it.
No thoughts, and then we kind of just came to the conclusion, like, well, why? Why even bother? Well, there's a whole movement with that kind of mentality, and it's a huge subreddit on Reddit. It's a big community on Reddit. Over 1.7 million subscribers. It's called anti-work. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and all these, and there are a lot of different definitions of what that is, and but basically it's like just the work system is just messed up, low pay, bad hiring practices. We need some change, but other people are just thinking, I just don't want to work, right? So their longest tenured moderator for this subreddit actually went on Jesse Waters' show to do an interview because Jesse had some questions. And so I have a couple clips from that. So this is Doreen Ford, an activist, and she's explained to Jesse first what anti-work is.
We're a movement where we want to reduce the amount of work that people feel like they're forced to do. And so we want to still put in effort. We want to put in labor, but we don't want to necessarily be in a position where we feel trapped. But yeah, absolutely, people still want to do things. They just want to do things where they feel rewarded and they feel like they're in a good spot in their life and that their job respects them and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is Doreen a dude?
Trans activist, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So there's a whole bunch of stuff, everybody. The notion that you're supposed to like your bottom of the barrel shit job is not what we want. We want discomfort in that. Like, how nice do you want prison to be? You know what I mean?
I don't want to stay.
You want people in prison going, I never want to come back to this fucking place again. And that's the way I felt when I worked at McDonald's, when I hovered over the grill when I was 15 and a half. You want that.
Right.
And then you want that to motivate you
onward
to either get from the grill to the front counter, to get to the junior manager spot, to get to the manager spot, to get the owning franchises,
to leave McDonald's,
or to get the fuck out of there like I did, like just all together.
Yeah.
So, you know, a little pain. You know, you got to make that pearl with that grain of sand and a little irritation.
Entry level sucks.
Right.
Yeah.
Like that's just how it is in so many things. Like that job. Yeah, that entry-level job sucks, and you should want to move up.
And they do this thing where it's like, I work the hardest and get paid the least. You work the hardest in that you sweat the most, but you don't have any ability or skills. It's all laid out on the construction site. The construction site is, you show up at a construction site, they hand you either a broom or a shovel. That's it. You have no skill, zero skill, and you do the grunt donkey work for as short a period of time as you can before you can get out of the hole and get into the house and do some apprenticing or something. And then at some point, you'll work your way up to finish carpenter, and then you'll get to foreman, and then you'll get to job supervisor, whatever. It all gets less painful, and the money, as you get more air conditioning, you'll get paid more as well. It's all on a construction site. But we've decided... First off, they do that thing, too, where they go like, I'm a mother of 3 and I'm 51 years old. I can't support my family working at McDonald's. It's like saying, I have twins. I'm in my 50s. I dig ditches for a living. How can I? No, you're not supposed to. These are high school jobs. These are out of high school jobs.
Right.
And in high school
it's not supposed to be a career.
Right.
I mean, there's the minimum wage has gone up over time, but it's still a minimum wage job. So it's still, you got to start out. You got to start somewhere.
It's basically,
I had
and
one of those
stay.
jobs. I was slinging hot dogs for Needix. Needix used to have hot dog stands in the subway stations in New York.
Really?
So you'd be underground for 8 hours selling hot dogs. And it was like, oh, yeah, I'm going to school. That's what I call those jobs. I call those jobs go to school. Like the guy who's the parking attendant at the self-service garage, and he's handing you the ticket, and you're like, man, I hope you're in school. Because literally the machine that can do your job is right next to you.
You're standing next to it.
Right. It's basically, they're jobs that anybody could do, And then there's whatever Dave Chappelle does. So then he'll get paid the most because now he can go down and do the ticket at the parking garage job any day he wants to. He's not going to do it, or the McDonald's job or the ditch digging job, but he's not going to do it. But we're having this perverse relationship with, like, these people work hard, they deserve respect, or they barely get paid. You expect them. It's all about habits. And it's all about working your way up and out from whatever this thing is. And no, it is not supposed to be rewarding.
Yeah, the only reward is the paycheck. And if that's not working for you, move along.
Right. And you try to do it for as short a period of time as possible.
But I have an efficiency question for you, because I know you're all about efficiency. I know that's sort of wiped off on a lot of us. And you think of, and I don't have the statistics, but you think of other nations, Europe, that's like the whole country closes down for like 6 weeks and everyone goes on holiday, or it's expected you go for 2 months. And these are, like we're talking France or whatever, Spain, like they're first world countries. It's not like, well, what have they accomplished? Like, they've accomplished stuff. Are we being inefficient by not working harder? I mean, working smarter? You know what I mean? So we can take a little more time off for life?
Well, I think the thing about this country is you can, the life you're speaking of, become a school teacher. I'll give you 3 months off but you're not going to get rich. And you're not going to have the kind of life you want, but you will live a kind of a life. Like, I essentially work a lot of weekends.
Right.
So, what am I doing this Saturday?
This does not apply to us.
What am I doing next weekend? Sunday, I'm working. Then the weekends after that, it's travel. It's like, so I choose to work weekends, but then I get paid to work weekends. Right. And if I wanted to take the agreement where I got my weekends off and my summers off, then I'd be a school teacher, but then I couldn't complain about the compensation because I entered that bargain. What we're doing now is we're giving people jobs that are, stand by the door at the Rite Aid. I mean, it's pretty easy gig.
Just a warm body.
And then we're going, this isn't gratifying. What the fuck? Or how come I'm not being richly compensated for it? Well, it's never going to work. There's no math that ever works that way.
Yeah, Gina, what you're talking about, it's so cultural.
Yeah.
Like, I'll never forget, I was in Spain, and it was during siesta. It was like 3 p.m. when nobody's doing anything. I'm at this coffee shop having a hot chocolate, which, by the way, was just like Hershey syrup heated up. Like, it was the thickest, sweetest thing.
They love Nestle over there.
And I'm sitting, and this guy just looked at me and he said, you Americans live to work, we work to live. And I was like, yeah, okay. And that's
fair.
Good. Like, Americans, like, we're grinding, hustling, this and that, trying to move up. A guy like him, he's like, yeah, I'm good where I'm at.
Right.
I don't feel any need to work harder to make more or whatever. I'm just, whatever his station in life was, he was good with that.
Yeah.
So I get that. But yeah, you do kind of make a choice. Now, I think that happened during the pandemic. I think some of us were like, wait a minute. Well, like me personally, I was like, what am I chasing? It's kind of, I mean, I can't sit at home all the time. But I've spent more time home since, whereas before I was on the road 40-plus weeks a year. Now sometimes I look at my dog and I'm like, man, you got it figured out.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's the thing. I think that's the thing, because like people with a regular office job realize quickly, I don't need to go in. I can get this shit done on my time. I can get it done way faster with no one bothering me at work, whatever. So I'm just wondering efficiency, if that's something to think about.
I think the conceit is wrong, where we go, I need respect at work and I need to be treated this way. It's like, you earn all of that. You'll earn all of it, or compensation. You'll earn all of it. It's all the guys I know. Alonzo comes from this background because he was an airplane mechanic before this. The guys that are really good are always in demand, always get paid, sought after, and they do get respect. And the guys that aren't, don't, and won't. And we want to somehow graft on to, like, why don't you have the same respect for Bobby Hollander as you do for Al Pacino? It's like, we don't.
You know what? I got to look in the mirror for that one. You're right.
They do different things.
Yes, there's people, there's different levels. And, nobody like consciously disrespects you if you have a crappy job. As a matter of fact, I think a lot of people sympathize because we all had a crappy job at some point. You know, I remember seeing a security guard at a club, which is a job I did for real one night. It is the worst job to stand around and watch other people have fun. But I played security guards in movies and TV shows, and I remember being in Vegas, and they had, you know, the line and the list and this, and I just walked up to the guy and I said, you know, I play you guys in movies, and he just started laughing and was like, go ahead in, man, just go in. And it was like, yeah, because you know, people are like, oh, it's great. It's a crappy job. You're holding a clipboard watching hot people go have fun. Yeah. And you're outside all night. That job sucks.
I will, and I'll
saw that movie, Girl Next Door.
That's right. One of my many.
I'll put even a finer point on it. After I was well established doing carpentry, and I like worked for myself, I'd just work alone. I'd show up at people's houses. I'd do dog-ear redwood fences. I'd do cabinetry. I just pull up my Zuzu Trooper, unpack my tools. The homeowners would be gone half the time, and I'd just be there with my radio on, just working. But it wasn't social enough for me. I was bored. I didn't have anyone to talk to. And so when I got a job as a boxing coach, I only made $20 a class for a 1-hour class, and I only
You mean per student?
No.
Okay.
And I taught like 4 mornings a week and like a Saturday morning class. So I made $100, but it was a bunch of people, and they were like the winners of the world. They were like, I had a guy who was a Delta airline pilot. I had a guy he was the editor-in-chief of the Los Angeles Times. I had like successful people, the kind of people who take a 6 a.m. boxing class on a Wednesday before they went into work. And I loved socializing with them. I loved leading them. You know, and so I was like, well, I'm not getting paid any more than I did when I'm kind of getting paid less because I would get 15, maybe $20 an hour, but I'd work for 8 hours and get paid a little bit. This is just an hour at a time. But then I could work out a little after class and then go do my carpentry. And it was like, all right, I'm not getting paid, but I do like this environment better. I do like these people better. Like, you're allowed to go, I don't choose to be alone all day, or maybe I do want to be alone. Like, I don't like a job as a waiter or waitress or bartender or something. Maybe I want a place where I can get my thoughts together. Like, you're allowed to leave. You know, people do that all the time. They're like, oh, you expect them to pay $12 an hour? You want to shovel this shit all day? No, just fucking leave. If you don't like it, then leave. Go get another job.
I couldn't agree with you more. From slinging suits in Beverly Hills and being absolutely miserable and saying, wait a second, there's an opening at KLSX for an overnight screener. Can do. Yeah. And I lived in Echo Park very uncomfortably, and I lived alone, and I made it work because that was the industry I wanted to get into.
Right. And 22 years later, you're about the same.
That's true. I've only moved half a neighborhood.
All right, next, Pat. What else?
So Doreen. So Jesse's now like, are you trying to promote laziness? And Trixie says like, no, laziness is a virtue, and she kind of goes into that, and then Jesse goes, well, well, he just asked her, how many hours should we work a week?
How many hours is a solid work day in your ideal society?
Sure. I mean, I think as much as people want. I mean, I personally work. I have like a 25 hour work weeks, which I think is fairly good. So I would like less work hours.
And what do you do, Doreen?
I'm a dog walker.
A dog walker. Okay.
Yes, but I would love to teach. I would love to work with people and stuff like that.
What would you teach, Doreen?
Philosophy mostly. Just introduction to philosophy, critical thinking, reason, stuff like that.
Okay.
So this clip that we just saw has been circulating the internet, and to the point where this subreddit were so angry that she was the representative for them because she totally did it wrong, right?
Well, I'm sorry. Can I just say she only works 25 hours a week, and she couldn't find 5 minutes to make her bed?
In the background.
That was a tough studio she was in.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's also a thing, too, when you're like when you're a shit student, you hope everyone else is a shit student. You always can tell people who have herpes because they try to talk you into having herpes. You got herpes, right?
Yeah, it's okay.
No, ever had a cold sore?
Everybody has
Well,
it.
when I was a kid. Well, then you got herpes.
Technically, that's herpes.
I was
Welcome to the
13.
club.
No, you got it. Okay, you have it. You have it. Like the people that don't fucking go out and get some while the sun is shining are trying to talk everyone else down as well. Or then they're making, who you know, daddy's money, all the sub arguments, the lame and sub. But yes, Max Petta.
Yeah, so they removed her as a moderator. Oh. They made the subreddit private for a while. Now, and it was a huge thing on Reddit, right? And then they created another subreddit called Work Reform. They reimagined it. And they're like, that's what we should have called it from the beginning, not anti-work. Mm-hmm. And that one's growing already. That has like almost 400,000 subscribers in like a day.
Is there a new philosophy?
Yeah, it's most people want to work. We just don't want to be exploited, and we want reform. We have the power. Never forget that.
You can't be exploited. You exploit yourself by not quitting.
Yeah.
I will say this for Doreen. 25 hours a week of dog walking, that's a lot of dog walking.
That is.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Right? I mean, a dog, how long do you walk a dog? 15 minutes? A half hour is like a good walk with a dog.
That was, my dog, Phil, 110-pound lab.
Which Alonzo thinks is cute, by the way.
He doesn't go in a straight line, and he's not trained. And so walking him, I was saying this the other day, when you walk Phil, it's like when you hook on to a marlin on a fishing boat and the thing goes under the boat and you swing, and then someone goes, swing it around, and it's coming to the other side, and you knock over stuff and duck, and now he's running on the other side of the boat. Like, he doesn't pull straight. He pulls to the side or he pulls to the other side. So you can't just take him for a straight walk. He yanks one way, then he yanks the other way. And so he's such a pain in the ass to walk that he's getting less walks from me because I want to take myself for a walk. And I can't take myself with Phil because he pulls too hard.
They told me, not Gina, they told me when Hulk was a puppy, they're like, oh, you want to train him. Like, you do not want to walk an untrained Great Dane. They just get...
That's Marmaduke.
Yeah, they're goofy and funny, but they're strong. And so he's trained pretty good. But every now and then he'll lunge, and it's like, yeah, I'm bigger than you, but I could see you dragging a lot of people wherever you wanted to go.
Oh, yeah.
But I wouldn't trust Doreen with the Hulk.
I wouldn't.
Doreen ain't walking the Hulk.
How much does the Hulk weigh?
He's 13 months. He's 140.
Wow, that's a big dog.
He's gonna. They said he's gonna get between 150 and 170 full size.
Not full size. Jeez.
Yeah.
Wow, I smell a doggy play date. This would be awesome.
Yeah, Phil will have fun times.
Oh yeah, he's great with other dogs. That's Phil.
Yeah.
Phil
refusing to get out of somebody's fountain.
Yeah, that's a church fountain. So I walked him through a church. He just climbs in the fountain, and then the guy who runs the church is like, you need to get the dog out of the fountain. And I'm like, yeah, well.
How would you propose I do that?
I wish you would get out of the fountain. Like, Phil, out of the fountain. It's like, no.
That's our holy water.
If you go to my Instagram, Zo Funny, you'll find pictures of the Hulk, all different.
So let's go to the next topic here. What do you find more impressive? When you get your hands and feet registered as weapons, or when you get a part of your body insured, because it's so prestigious.
Like, wasn't that who was the legs?
Dixie something? No,
I got a list.
What's her name?
Heidi Klum.
No, Inside Edition hard copy.
Yeah, the anchor.
Yeah,
right. She had her legs.
Who also had a weird Vegas act.
Really?
Oh yeah, they all sung back then. It's not Dixie something, but it's like one of those 80s news.
Not Deborah Norville.
No, it was like kind of.
It was with an M, wasn't it?
Mary
Hart.
Mary Hart.
But who knows? Did she really have her legs insured?
That's the rumor, and I'm sticking to it.
I think that's more impressive.
Yeah.
To have your legs or your arm or something like that insured.
Gina, so the reason I'm bringing this up is because Dolly Parton was trending about her breasts.
Yes.
Do you know if they're insured or not?
Personally, no, we haven't spoken today.
I just don't know as a fan. Because
I don't, but I want to say that Jay Bernstein had Mary Hart's legs insured for $1 million each with Lloyd's of London, apparently.
Right.
Yeah. Lloyd's of London is the one that does.
Okay.
Does
I mean, do you have to insure breasts that you could just fix because they're not yours to begin with?
That's
you know what I mean.
That's what she said. They're not insured. She made a joke about it
Yeah.
years ago, and that was the rumor. So she put that to rest because they asked her that in light of Heidi Klum admitting that she got her legs insured for $2.2 million. One of them is more expensive than the other because it has a scar. And then,
well, that's the cheaper one, right? Or the more expensive one?
I think it's more expensive one.
When you're talking about supermodels,
but it's
like
flawed.
It makes it more her.
It's unique and maybe it's weaker. I don't know. I don't know why, but that's what the.
But you know, like supermodels often have like a big gap in their teeth or a wonky eye.
Yeah, but weird scar on your leg. I don't know. I feel like if you have a car and it's in A condition, you could insure for $300,000. But if it's in C condition, it's $175,000.
I get
I'm
it.
just doing the same math.
Yeah, but this is Heidi Klum's leg. Right. Mm-hmm. So if you had a car, worth X amount of dollars, but then Brad Pitt has the same car and it's beat up because Brad Pitt's been driving it, that car's worth more.
Okay.
Right? A pristine Mustang versus the Mustang Brad Pitt drove around.
Could she please just get fat so we don't have to hear from her anymore? I feel like she's on a 30-year obnoxious. She's the most talentless, obnoxious bitch on the planet, constantly talking about herself with her stupid sense of humor and her fake accent. I can't stand her.
Awesome
I can't
legs.
take her anymore.
Yeah.
I'm just done with her.
You want to hear other people who have body parts?
Yeah.
David Beckham, his legs, $140 million.
Jesus. So how does this work? If he can't play anymore, he gets the payout?
Yeah.
He doesn't play anymore.
But if
he gets injured,
Yeah.
he can't. Yeah.
Didn't they stop doing that with athletes? I heard they stopped insuring athletes' bodies.
They might have, but this report is from late last year, so maybe he got.
What about
grandfathered
LeBron?
in.
Like, does LeBron insure his body for $1 billion?
He should. His body is what he's done to his body. It just needs to be studied for the longevity, just like how he's just been training it and making it last. I mean, he still plays like he's in his 20s.
Yeah, he absolutely does. But I see this always feels like a publicity stunt and less a practical matter.
Mariah Carey.
If she or he, if Beckham is insured past his playing, he's stopped playing 8 years ago, right? It's a decade? How long has it been? I mean, he's not played in a long time. What do we need?
I don't know.
And then what happens to your legs? Like, I fell asleep on the train tracks. Oh, man. It was a shit show.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Don't get in trouble with the mob.
The deductible's
Can you
a
see
bitch.
him going to make the claim and then somebody saying, wait, you don't play anymore?
Right.
Oh, no, this is void. You get nothing.
Or we get those legs.
Right. Yeah, that's right.
Mariah Carey also got her legs for $35 million.
Not her vocal cords?
And her voice for another $35 million.
Who cares about her legs?
You know, I'm going to flip over all the cards here, and I'm going to make a big-time preemptive strike. I want my brain insured. I mean, that's where the genius lies, everybody.
So we start seeing early onset dementia and we cash out?
Yeah, just like it out there that Adam Carolla's insured his brain for $100 million. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Then if people argue with me, I'll go, you got a brain? Yeah. Is it insured?
How much is it insured for?
No? Oh. Right, but you got a Hyundai Sonata out there that's fully covered. Right, but your fucking bean isn't. Guess what? My brain's insured for $100 million, bitch. Yeah. So I think I know what I'm talking about.
So here's my question
ender.
about a Mariah Carey, right? What's she worth? She got to be worth over $100 million, right?
That whole Christmas song, Spotify, whatever thing. I mean, that's
a number one pop song ever.
So what are the insurance premiums? In other words, does she need $35 million more dollars? You know what I mean? Like, how much are you paying to insure your legs that if you broke a leg, you've already got $100 million? Like, what are you paying?
Well, now you
know
sound
what I mean?
like
Adam's you're already
mom.
rich. You're already rich.
Yeah. Well, Mariah seems like somebody who would do it for status, right?
Right.
She's doing it for status. Yeah.
Jamie Lee Curtis, what do you think she did hers for?
Her legs?
Her legs, yeah.
$1
million.
Oh.
And then Julia Roberts.
Let me guess. Teeth.
Her smile.
Yeah.
$30 million smile right there.
Wow.
That's what my dentist charged me for these. I'm not impressed.
So, like, literally, if she, like, cracks a tooth and it, like, fucks up her smile.
Yeah. She's protected. And
I still don't see how any of this realistically works.
If you can prove loss of work, I don't know how this.
Okay,
I don't know.
It all feels kind of
that'd be the only
to
thing,
me.
I guess. If you,
yeah.
So if Adam goes batshit crazy and can't do this show anymore, then your insurance policy kicks in because his brain is insured for $100 million.
Oh, I hadn't heard.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit, that's hot.
Yeah.
Careful. Don't argue.
I think you're just doing it for status. All right, let's go to the next. So we're coming off one of the best.
Little uninsurable pea brains would never have any notion as to what motivates me to insure my brain. So.
I'm sorry. Before we move on, I can't believe you didn't mention that Dolly Parton has teamed up with Duncan Hines and now has full Dolly frosting and cake mixes.
Oh, really?
And it says something like, if you can be anything, be sweet, or something like that, and has like strawberry and that's
Duncan Hines.
Yeah.
She didn't hook up with Dolly Madison?
That would be better.
Be more on the nose.
That's right. Anyway.
Yeah, sorry, I missed that one.
Yeah, I am too.
But we are coming off of one of the greatest NFL weekends in recent memory. Congratulations, Gina, on advancing with your Chiefs. But Pat Mahomes' fiancé, Brittany Matthews, yeah, she's not doing too hot with a lot of the Twitterverse because she posted a video of herself right after the Chiefs win where she opens up some champagne and decides to celebrate, and this is what she does.
Shakes it up,
just
sprays it onto the fans.
Tries to uncork it. Yeah, she's getting it up and just
There
all
it goes
over
everybody.
all over the.
They're
fans.
wearing hoodies.
It's a party atmosphere.
Yeah. Well, I guess it was really cold that day.
She could have been overserved. Like I've seen some vids of her up in that booth. She could have been overserved.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people are really upset. A lot of people who got sprayed, they just were not in the mood to get sprayed. Weirdly enough, one guy said, "Brittany, I was in the stands when you were spewing champagne recklessly on all of us. As a recovering alcoholic of 5 years." Gave me great pain to smell the alcohol and feel it all over me, and I somewhat had a panic attack. I had to leave. Please be aware in the future. And other people are saying, yeah, there are other people who were sober and
the game was over, right?
Game's over.
Well, you got to leave at some point, dude.
Time to wrap it up.
The
I think
game's over.
that's one of those let them eat cake things, though.
Yeah.
Like you can't be in the luxury box. They're out there freezing. Like, if you're spraying champagne, you can only spray it on people who are involved.
Who are also in the luxury box.
I'd say this. Mahomes could do it because he was out on that field burning calories.
Yeah. Right.
You just met him in high school. You can't do it. If he would have done it, they would have gone ballistic, right?
They'd sell those hoodies.
The guy you got to feel sorry for leaving the stadium, who was underneath the champagne bukkake, is not the sober guy. That guy's a designated driver. It's the guy that had 4 beers over the course of the game.
Gets pulled over.
He's got a little buzz going. He's got a little breath going, but he's moderated. You know, he cut himself off at the end of the third quarter.
He knew what he was doing.
But there were 16 ounces, you know. But he's got a little buzz, but he's got his 2 kids with him. But that guy gets pulled over and he smells like a christened ship. You know, he's got booze on his head. Like, that guy may have pulled it off, minus the champagne shower, right?
Yes.
But now he smells.
you can't.
Then the cop pulls him over and is like, "Where are you drinking?" Smells like you were there. A little bit, just a little bit, but most of it
Patrick
came
Mahomes,
from
right?
His fiance. Okay, out of the car, sir. The kids are in the car. We're going to call Child Protective Services. I mean, you got booze on you.
Yeah.
Smart.
Now that's a lawsuit there because, again, you can have a couple of beers and then you can drink a cup of coffee and pop a mint or something like that. Might be able to get away with it. But
Make your way home.
When it's on you, good
You're
luck
done.
when that cop opens the window. What you doing in there?
Just driving home, officer.
We got an 11-year-old and a 9-year-old in there?
Yeah, apple of my eye.
And the cop's mad because he was working. He didn't get to see the greatest football game of all time.
Where are you coming from?
The Chiefs game. You maybe heard about it. Big win.
Yeah, no, I couldn't watch it. I got to ride in with the bus.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the
cool.
Bills bus, not even a Chiefs bus.
Sorry, officer. Cool.
Yeah.
So what seems to be the problem?
Been celebrating?
Well, it was a big win. And everybody's cheering and hugging.
Sounds like you've been drinking champagne.
Funny story. I'm glad you mentioned that. Patrick Mahomes? You familiar with his work?
Yeah, I wish I'd cleared the road for his bus.
Well, his lady, she took a big bottle of champagne. She sprayed it directly on me.
Oh, she was on a unicorn flying over the stadium?
No, she was in the stands, and she sprayed it on me. Patrick Mahomes' girlfriend sprayed me with champagne.
The stadium holds 89,000 people.
Roughly, sure, yeah.
You're saying you were the one person that was standing by her?
Yes.
And she sprayed the champagne on you?
Yes, she popped out of a suite, and it flooded me.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Go ahead and step out of the minivan, ma'am.
No.
Right now, what I'm going to need you to do, go ahead and get license, registration, proof of insurance. Go ahead and step out.
Speak up.
What I'm going to ask you to do right now is go ahead and step out of the van, put your hands on the fender, ma'am.
No, you don't understand. Her name is Brittany.
I don't care what your name is. Step out of the van, ma'am.
All right. Can I please can I have one more shot at this?
Oh, another shot?
No,
I'd say you'd had enough. Step out of the van, ma'am. Hold on. I got talking to my collar. I need backup here. We got a soccer mom. We got a Karen who's lost control over here. Child Protective Services. And bring the wagon. Bring a horse. I want a horseback. Mounted unit. Mounted unit. Put a bird in the air.
Bring the wagon. That's the last thing you heard. That's the last thing you hear. Bring the wagon.
You're absolutely right.
So that's
the problem.
That's why she deserves our ire.
Tragic story. Mm-hmm. You want to do one more?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Amy Schneider just ended her big Jeopardy run.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Her.
Yeah.
The advocate for no work.
Two different
same
people.
Chick?
No.
This. So Amy, she wrapped up her historic 40-game winning streak last night, and she is the most successful woman ever to compete on Jeopardy. Ranks number 2 on the all-time consecutive win list. Mm-hmm. Her winnings totaling $1.4 million.
She looks a little like Jeff Richards from SNL.
I could see that. Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. So
I didn't see that.
So she is trans. What's interesting about her? There are a few things. One, she never brings it up. Right, she rarely brings it up. Like it's just
that's not the get to know you question. That's not top.
Yeah. But the way I found out about her was actually she was mugged at like right after New Year's in Oakland, and I share a similar story with my smash and grab. So but she her winnings put her among the top 4 highest winning contestants. She's Oakland-based engineering manager, only behind Ken Jennings, who won 74 straight. And so I did some research on her background. She transitioned in 2016, 2017. Mm-hmm. She said, that year my father passed away. Kevin Durant joined the Warriors. She's a huge Warriors fan. And my wife and I split up, and Trump got elected. And I realized I was trans. It was quite a year.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
But she's been killing it. Beloved by the Jeopardy community. And
who hosts that show now?
Ken Jennings is hosting, interim hosting, I believe.
There are no full. It's like the Oscars now.
It might be,
hostless.
Yeah, they keep going through. Are they just waiting to see who sticks? They keep giving the job to different celebrities.
Mayim Bialik and a few others.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you just go on that show to get canceled, I guess.
You got to pick a host at a certain point.
I think so. But
Steve Harvey will pick it up.
Oh, I would love that.
Why not?
I love Steve Harvey hosting.
Well, good for it or them or us or her.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the male brain that won that. You know what I mean? Sorry, Gina, but she transitioned at 13. That's one thing, but they transitioned when she was 40.
I just want to double check. Did she go on Jeopardy before or after 2016?
After.
Okay.
With
when
all
she's a
the accumulated knowledge that the male brain comes up with. That's what she took.
Ain't no way I'm getting involved.
Right.
I'm not going to argue with the man with $100 million brain.
That's dude brain went in there.
Okay, fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, sure.
All right.
And you want to do one more after that?
No, because we got news.
Yeah, we got some news. All right. Well,
we got Chick Brain doing the news over here.
Oh, my God.
Not a pejorative.
You should insure it.
How much is yours insured for, Gina?
A hundo, according to Adam.
What's that?
$100 million.
65% of what Adams is insured?
That's right. That's
72 cents to my dollar.
Perfect.
Person turning left in front of you 150 feet that's going to get you.
So unless your bike, the ones that are so loud, they set off the car alarms and stuff like that. But then I've been around it. You do not want to sit on something that loud. That's when you're pretending you're cool, but you're really like, fuck, I'm deaf. I can't hear a thing.